Hello everyone and welcome back to another Earthward devlog. I've done so much in the past couple of weeks, but today we're going to focus on how I coded procedural generation and why it's so important for my game. But first, I want to give a massive thanks to my patrons. Patrons get access to new developer builds of Earthward every Saturday, and if you're interested, you can check it out in the description. So, I think we can all agree that random world generation is incredibly fun to play. That's because almost anything can happen. You could get really unlucky and have no resources spawn near you, or you could get really good RNG and spawn right next to a chest. It's that unpredictability that makes it exciting to play and replay a game with procedural generation. But this randomness also poses a problem, especially for games like mine that have a crafting system and loot tables. What if the player needs to craft a pickaxe handle, but they can't find any trees because they got unlucky? What if the world generates with only a select few resources, and the player is suddenly softlocked from being able to obtain some items? Well, the solution to this is to mix random elements with static elements. Static elements are parts of a game that are constant and can't be changed. For example, in my world generation system, I use chunk-based generation, where I assign each chunk a width and a type. Based on what the chunk type is, I generate certain resources. This means if I assign a chunk the rare rock type chunk, it will always generate either a copper, iron, or gold rock. And there's always at least one rare rock chunk per level, as well as a rare chance for the rock deposits to turn into large rock deposits, which are double the size and drop double the loot. But there's still that random chance to get more than just one, so that way the player can actually get lucky and get more resources. I use the same concept for generating almost all of my other resources, and none of the playtesters so far have found any big problems with it. Also, I don't know how, but people are already making memes of the game, even though it's not even out yet. I think that's a good sign. Right now, the level generation in Earthward is very basic and linear, which I plan on changing in a future update. I actually just started work on this after I recorded the devlog, and I'm here now trying to get some footage of the game for the video. I want the levels to have a little more depth to them, and I also want to be able to add sub-biomes within areas, as well as some cool structures. I think this is probably the next big coding adventure for me, because other than that, the entire groundwork of logic for Earthward is up and running. I even have a structure priority system in place to ensure that no structures or resources can generate on top of each other. I also got rid of the grapple slot and replaced it with a bag slot so you can increase your inventory capacity. Sorry, comments. I also saw a lot of people in the last devlog talk about how my game is similar to Terraria, but I don't really see it. The enchanted sword, which is meant to be an unobtainable dev item, is the only reference to Terraria I have. I used to frequently mod the game, and so I thought it would be fun to add a little Easter egg. And I guess I can kind of see how the treetops in the forest biome might look similar to Terraria, but if that's seriously such a big problem, then I can just redraw it. But everything about the game is different. The combat, the crafting, the interfaces, the equipment slots, the world generation, the skill tree system, resource gathering, and pretty much everything I can think of. I really tried hard to find some more unique ways to get and craft items so it wasn't too similar to a lot of other RPG games. For example, crafting stations and crafting in general all require you to actually use your brain. The game doesn't tell you what ingredients you can mix in a cauldron. The game doesn't tell you what you can or can't chop on a chopping block, and, well, you get the point. I've designed it so that the player has to use their intuition and sense of logic in order to discover new items or crafting recipes. As a result, the player is rewarded for taking risks, and they get that rush of endorphins that comes with the satisfaction of discovery and success. Of course, I also added in a lot of new content and reworked the entire combat system, but since I don't want to spoil too much in just one video, here's a quick sneak peek of some of the upcoming content. I know this was a short video, but right now I'm actually in the middle of getting myself ready to fly out of state and move into my new apartment complex with my roommates so I can start university. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and join the Discord for future updates on the game because I have some awesome things planned. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next devlog.